In today's lesson, I'm going to give you 5 things that if you stop making these silly mistakes, you don't even have to change your golf swing, I guarantee your scores will get lower, because they are some of the most common mistakes that golfers are making all the time, and they're so easy to avoid. Stop doing them. Let's shoot some lower scores. Let's take a look at the first one. This one is unbelievably common, and I've said it in so many videos before, but so many golfers are still getting it wrong, and that is underclubbing. We're on the 16th hole here at the Bracken course at Woodall Spa, and I've just been looking at some numbers off camera before we started shooting this, and the front of the green now is 135 yards, a little bit longer, that we can see on the watch from where I was standing a couple of paces back. But the big thing for me is that all the trouble on this hole is short of the green. The flag itself today is actually 150 yards. Now, there's water up the left-hand side, there's water up the right-hand side. The water starts at about 93 yards, goes all the way up to about 140. And then on the other side, it goes all the way around the back of the green, only a little brook, but we can see it's more pond-like in front. There's also a bunker in front. And so many people are basing their decisions on club choice on the best shot that they've ever hit. You've got to take into account, as well, as I stand here, look at this, the wind's straight into me. Grass is going that way, so that's going to harm that golf ball. What we feel down here at ground level is probably going to be 2, 3, 4 more, 5 times more as that ball gets to the peak of its flight. So 150 is now looking like 160. The front of the green, 137 yards as I stand here. Add in that wind, that's going to about 150. So all of a sudden, my 9-iron, that is my 150 club, if I don't quite get that, that's not getting to the front of the green. So start looking at the back of the green when you are choosing your distances. Don't think that almost where that flag is, that the world ends beyond there. We don't drop off a cliff. There's more green beyond it. There's usually a fringe. You'll generally never find much trouble at the back of a green. So start picking a club that is going to get you to the flag and beyond the flag. Don't choose one that if you hit your Sunday best, it will just creep up towards that flag. Choose one that is pitching at that flag, and then allow for a little bit of run beyond it, because if you do this, you don't even have to change your golf swing. You just club up more. You stop hitting it in the rubbish. You stop hitting it in the drink. Let's see what I can do with this 8-iron now, which is a 165 club. This should just get me maybe 5 yards past the flag today. Oh, it's not my best strike. It isn't my best strike, but do you know what? As we predicted, we've just got to the back of the green. Guys, tip number 1, pick a club that is going to pitch you at the flag or beyond it. Let's take a look at number 2. The next mistake we need to avoid is thinking that it is driver off every single tee. The amount of times that I see people hitting it into bunkers, water, certain places on the golf course that they could avoid just by not hitting driver is unbelievable. This hole here, the 13th of the Bracken course at Woodall Spa, it gives me a couple of options. Off the tee, there is a bunker at 212. There's also another one further on that I have to carry it 230 yards to get to. I have to carry it 246 yards to clear it. Now, I play a lot of golf with my friends who are low to mid to high handicappers, and they stand on a tee, see par 4 and say, right, just hit driver. It's only 360 yards. They hit a really good drive and bounce it into that bunker at 212 because they hit the golf ball 225 yards to the driver, and they stand there and go, oh, that's rubbish, isn't it? Like, I've hit it down the middle, I'm in a bunker. Know what you're hitting towards. If you know that that bunker starts at 212 and your driver goes 220, you are a fool for pulling it out. Plan your shots down the hole. For me, 246 to clear the last one, can confidently do that with driver, but the hole actually narrows up near the green, and then there are more bunkers up there. So I'm going to lay short with a 5-iron and leave myself a mid-iron, 8-iron, 9-iron in, and avoid all the trouble and not get any unwanted mither by actually just pulling out my driver. A little bit pulley down the left, but do you know what? Safely aboard the fairway, and I didn't even hit my best golf shot. So stop just aimlessly hitting towards hazards and then complaining when you get in them, because you need to have a little bit of a plan. Avoid it, don't always hit driver. Let's take a look at number 3. Mistake number 3. trying to do too much when we've hit a bad shot. We find ourselves in the tree, in the rough, and come and have a look at how bad this lie is that I've found off the tee. You can just make out the golf ball there in amongst all this long tangly grass. And this is where I see a lot of people really go wrong. We're 212 yards to the front of the green now, and it might be that you've hit your driver poorly, you're on a par 4 that's 400 yards, you've only hit it 150 before it got into the thick tangly rough, leaves yourself 250, and you think, well, it's a heck of a way to go. I need to try and get it as far down. So I'm going to get my hybrid, I'm going to get my 7 wood, my 3 wood, because I've still got a long way to go. Problem is, if I just demonstrate how badly this will come out of here, even if it does come out of this lie, you're probably not going to get this ball advanced very far, and you'll probably find yourself in a little bit more mither. I've actually moved it back into its divot there because it's just the wrong club for it. So when you find yourself, when you've hit a bad shot off the tee, yes, it's frustrating. We can get a little bit hot under the collar. We can start to panic thinking, I've got so far to go. It's a par 4. No, I'm going to get that big number, that 8, that 9. I've got to hit that hero shot. I've got to dig myself out of trouble with an amazing golf shot now. Just take a minute. We've got a bad lie. What's done is done. Let's get it back into play. You can move it 50 yards, 100 yards down the fairway with something like a pitching wedge like this. Then from there, you might have a 6 iron, a 7 iron, get that up near the green, chip it close, 2 putts. You take a 6, you take a 5. It doesn't have to be a big number, because the amount of times I see people having 2, 3, 4 swipes, maybe in anger after the 2 or the second or the third one because of these lies, it just doesn't work. When you find yourself in a really bad situation that we all do on the golf course, just take a minute, take a breath and think, right, let's get it back into play as we go down here. So we go here, and now we just hack it down. And off we go. There we go. Get out of trouble easier. Stop trying to hit those Hollywood hero shots. If it's super thick rough, the long clubs are not for it. Mistake number 4, and this is going to sound so simple and so rudimentary, but I see so many good golf shots being penalised by this, and that is your aim. The amount of times I get on a golf course with some of my lessons or even my friends, and we stand and we have a target like this. I have a flag up in the distance. I'm 155 yards away to the flag here on the 17th, and that would be maybe my intended aim point. It might be the middle of the green, it could be the middle of the fairway, but when then I actually come in and put myself behind the golf ball before I make the golf swing, that's where it all starts to go wrong, because we could actually hit a really good golf shot. I could stand in and think, right, I want to aim at the flag now, so I'm going to aim at the flag. I can hit, oh, I feel good over this one. Oh, that's such a good shot. Why? Oh, and we can hear the clatter of trees. It's hit the trees and it's bounced 10 yards left of the green now. So it's so simple, but it's something that gets so many people unstuck. Make sure you get your aim right on the golf course. So really simple. Best way of doing it, if you've got your target here, you've got your golf ball you're trying to hit, and you have a target up in the distance, what we want to try and do is come in and stand behind our golf ball, so we have our intended target, mine being the flag, and almost draw an imaginary line back down from that flag towards our golf ball. And you'll generally see something about a foot out in front of you. For me, there's a load of dead grass here where they've had the cuttings. I actually want to be 1 golf ball right of that now. So as I stand behind it, and you'll see a lot of the pros do stuff like this, where they get the golf ball in line with the shaft and their target and they just run it back down, and bing, that spot comes in. Once I now come in, all I need to do is just try and aim that club face to my intended target just in front there. I take my setup, and from behind now that will look totally different to the one that I've just hit. Once I then make a similar golf swing, and even there a worse golf swing, I've caught it absolutely horrifically, but it's pitched about 4 feet from the flag and run up to the back of the green, all because my aim was right. So you could hit some fantastic shots but be aiming horrifically, hit a bad shot, aim correctly, and you'll probably get a better outcome. So make sure you pay a bit of attention to aim when you're out on the golf course. Mistake number 5, fake it till you make it. A saying that we might have heard, but not in the golf sense before. And what I mean by this one is that sometimes when we get out on the golf course, we're going to be faced with a lot of scenarios that we are not comfortable in. And it might be sort of the right shot to play, or the shot that might get you a better result or closer to the flag or something along those lines. But if you stand over a scenario like so, where you have a bunker in front of you, you've got a bit of ground to go over, it's elevated, and it screams here that we need to hit maybe a sand wedge, a 60 degree, to throw it up over the trouble, one bounce on the middle of the green, a little bit of spin, and it runs out. But as you stand over that shot and you're saying to yourself, I don't want to play this shot, I'm going to duff this into the front, I always duff these shots, why am I playing this shot, why am I playing this shot? And then all of a sudden we don't quite get it the distance we need, or we duff it into the bunker, worst case scenario. That's not what we need. We need to try and actually think to ourselves, well, you know what? A 9-iron here, I could bump it maybe into the middle of the green, and I really like hitting my 9-iron. I'm confident with that one. It's not the right shot, but actually the chances of me getting this right are significantly higher than the chances of me trying to hit that wonder shot that I hate and I always duff. Because as you stand over it now, all of a sudden you're thinking, well, I like this shot, it's all right this, and all of a sudden your demeanor changes. You get actually confident about what you're going to do. Yes, you're going to have maybe a 20-30 foot putt instead of that 10 foot 5 foot one if that perfect shot comes off. But you know what, if you have a 20 foot putt and it takes you 2 to get in, it's probably better than duffing it in the bunker and taking another 3 to get out and then having your 20 foot putt. So sometimes a little bit of faking it till we make it and until we're confident of actually playing the harder shot is the way to go. Because now a little chip and run, that was easy. I'm in the middle of the green. Yes, I'm 30 feet away, but do you know what? I'm not down in there. I chose the shot that I was confident in and the one that I knew I could pull off, and that allowed me to actually get the job done. So don't choose the shot that you stand over and you know you're going to hit bad, because chances are you'll probably hit it pretty bad. Choose the one that you've got more confidence in. Guys, that's 5 things there that are going to help you get better at golf without even changing your golf swing, and guarantee they will lower your scores. Subscribe to the channel for more free lessons. We'll see you in another one very soon.